Bob, Joe Murray. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And another week of the night show. We got games. We will have a full show, though, this week. I believe Wednesday night, full show. Tonight it's the B's. Tomorrow it's the C's. And, of course, we'll get into both of those. Some stuff from the weekend. I was here yesterday. I'll kind of recap some of the things and more going down today when it comes to NFL free agency and more. Let's open up the phone line, 617-779-0985. Opening take is brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. My opening take, it's been a very defensive free agency for the Patriots. It's the exact reason why I did not want Mike Vrabel to become the coach here. I'm not saying it was a bad hire or any of that, but I thought that at least Vrabel coming in would it be that defensive mindset when the team, for the last 5 years without Tom Brady, can't find a star wide receiver or a star tackle. Here you are 5 years later with free agency dwindling down, and they still don't have a star wide receiver or a star tackle, and, their star center just retired. So, great, Mike Vrabel's here. They brought in some pretty good pieces that have made the team better, but in the end, it's still a defensive mindset, and they still don't have a star receiver or a star corner. I personally think it's risky banking on the draft for offense. But let's take a look around the league. A lot of these star players, they do come from the draft. And if you're going to get them, you got to draft one. They haven't had a history, though, of doing so. That's why it's risky. The other thing is a lot of left tackles, well, the best ones at 4 are the names like Trent Williams and Lane Johnson, who just got an extension today. DeBrickashaw Ferguson was one of those guys. So I don't find that guy at pick number 4 in the draft this year. But 5 years ago, today is the date that Tom Brady left for Tampa Bay. And there's just some interesting offensive numbers regarding the Patriots offense in those 84 games since Brady has moved on. Now, I've always said that the big number is 21 points. When Mac Jones was here, if the offense could score 21 points or more, they generally would win the game or have a very high win percentage. But they've gone under 21 points or fewer in 60 of those 84 games. So that's an average of 12 games per season. And here they are now with free agency and don't have a star wide receiver, a number 1 wide receiver, or a left tackle. But they weren't interested in certain wide receivers like DK Metcalf and Cooper Kupp. Tom Brady left 5 years ago today. They still haven't filled the void. That's unacceptable. And again, everyone wanted Mike Vrabel, right? You wanted Vrabel to come in. You're familiar with it. I'm not going to fault the guy for something that hasn't happened yet, but what hasn't happened yet is a star wide receiver or a left tackle on St. Patrick's Day 5 years ago to the date that Tom Brady left. So now they've missed out on every wide receiver. And, of course, now you're seeing from Mass Live that the Patriots have interest in Travis Hunter. They've missed out on every wide receiver possible, and they landed on Mac Hollins. That's the receiver they brought in. They've missed out on everybody. Now they'll look to fill the void in the draft. I mean, just think of some of these teams and what they have with their wide receivers. Like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith on a championship team. They make $100 million less than what Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just got with Cincinnati. But Joe Burrow wanted both receivers. They've invested now in the 2 guys that they've drafted with Joe Burrow. And I'm almost fine with it. Yeah, I don't know who's going to play defense for him. But I don't know, these star wide receivers in the spot, it seems to be working for these teams. But the report now is the Patriots consider Travis Hunter the best corner and best wide receiver in the draft. I wanted to just mention one more thing, and I think I saw Greg Bedard mention something about it today, but I was thinking about this. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk's due a $23 million roster bonus on April 1st. That's 2 weeks from today. If they plan to move him before the season, are the Patriots in the mix on a trade here? Because the reports at the time were they would spend that kind of money. For the Patriots, it's $23 million. They didn't want to do it with Cooper Kupp at 15. Will they do it at Brandon Ayuk at 23? When the reports were they were interested in paying $40 million a year. So they have a chance to get that kind of guy if they want to. I just don't think they're going to. So again, 5 years ago today, they still don't have a guy. They still don't have a left tackle. And just the wide receiver market, by the way, has now eclipsed $40 million per year. So if you're a star wide receiver, now the number's 40. Jefferson got his big money last year. Now it's Chase. The Houston Texans today, what'd they do? Derek Stingley gets 3 years and $90 million in an extension. $89 million of that is guaranteed. So who do I look at now as potentially extension eligible next year? I'll tell you who that is in a minute. But Stingley's 23 years old. It's now 5 years and $113 million. His deal's through 2029. When you look at some of the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL, Stingley's now the highest, followed by J.C. Horn, who just got a huge deal. Jalen Ramsey still making big money. Patrick Surtain's awesome. Jair Alexander just got $21 million. Guess who's up for an extension next year? Christian Gonzalez. Get ready. You think the Patriots are going to put up 20, 30 million a year for him? Get ready for Travis Hunter, everybody. He can play offense. He can play defense. They view him as the best corner and the best wide receiver in the draft. You think they want to give Christian Gonzalez an extension that much? Sorry. Also, another report today I saw on the Patriots. The asking price for Joe Milton, a 3rd-round pick. Yeah, in your dreams. Sorry again. That's not happening. Are you kidding me? They just brought in Josh Dobbs, who knows the offense. And upside, it's Joe Milton all day long, but yeah, a 3rd-round pick. I mean, hey, listen, if you got to shoot, be a shooter, right? You got to shoot your shot, go for a 3rd-round pick. I know the Colts at least sniffed around on it. If a team gives up a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton, you're nuts. Absolutely crazy. The Browns also are not interested in trading for Joe Milton. So that's my Patriots stuff for the day. Mike Vrabel's here. Defensive-minded coach. Look at defense. 5 years ago today, Tom Brady left and went to Tampa Bay. You still don't have a top wide receiver. You still don't have a left tackle. 5 years, guys. 5 years. If they want a star receiver, they could trade for Brandon Ayuk, who picks up his $23 million option on April 1st. He's there if they want him. Not to mention the wide receiver money now just went to $40 million. And the quarterback money just went to $30, and Christian Gonzalez is going to be eligible in a year, and I don't see them paying that money whatsoever. Their best option is Travis Hunter in the draft. Offense, defense, they can pay him a price to play both. And you know who I want to credit for this? And I hate to do it, but he's a guy who knows how to sniff around on some things, Mike Felger. I mentioned this to Felger a while ago. Offense, defense. And Mike goes, this is great. They can pay him a certain amount and they get the best receiver. Oh, it's so beautiful. The Patriots don't want to pay for a receiver and probably won't pay the extension for Gonzalez, but they can do it all with Travis Hunter. It's happening, people. That's where they're going in the draft. I'm in. Heisman Trophy winner, star power. I think he's outstanding. I'm getting ready for the Travis Hunter era, everybody. Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. We do have hockey tonight. And I'll tell you who's in net. I already teased it for you, but if you didn't know, stick around for that. We'll get into that. That is the opening take brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I did want to get into some Celtic stuff from over the weekend. Skaz is back as well. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go.
Found the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Wow, I didn't realize I got people rattled when I mentioned Travis Hunter as the guy. I already got people chirping at me. Well, you are aware Hunter isn't playing wide receiver in the NFL, right? No, I'm not aware of that, sir. I actually watched this man go from high school to, was it Jackson State? He could have went to any school he wanted to. Alabama, Ole Miss, you name it. No, he said, I'm going to go with Deion Sanders to his small school. Oh, and then when he went to Colorado, he followed him there. This was a blue chip, top 5 wide receiver corner. Oh, do you know? Are you aware, sir, that he was the Heisman Trophy winner, was the best wide receiver in college football last year, and was a hell of a defender? I don't care what any draft guy says. My eyes, because I've watched a lot of college football in my lifetime, that guy's good. To me, he's probably one of the 5 can't-miss guys in the draft. I'm going to throw Ashton Genty in there, too. I think he's a generational running back. I don't think there's a generational quarterback in this draft, but I'll tell you right now, Cam Ward is the best one. And I think guys with upside, there's plenty. I think Jackson Dart's a guy with upside. The quarterback is a little bit down this year, which is why having the 4th pick is interesting. I think Abdul Carter's a can't-miss pass rusher. For the most part, I don't think there is an offensive line. I think Mason Graham's outstanding as a D lineman. I think there's about 5 or 6 handful of can't-miss guys. Travis Hunter is to me the best all-around player in the league, and then the draft. And if he's there at 4, I think the Patriots should select him. And if he's there at 4, I think he'll play wide receiver right away, and he'll mix in at corner. My point was, did you see the money that's going around the league right now at wide receiver? Did you see the extension that T. Higgins just got? Did you see the extension that Derek Stingley just got? They don't have a wide receiver that's going to be up for eligibility like that. But you know what? They have a corner. I don't think the Patriots want to even look at an extension like that for Gonzalez. That's my opinion. Like Stingley, again, $30 million, Horn, $25. Next year, there's a potential for Christian Gonzalez to make over $20 million a season? You think the Patriots are going to want to pay that? And here I am saying that they should be on this guy with a wide receiver. That guy is a wide. Why don't you pay the money? Skaz, you mentioned this off the air. Welcome back, Skaz. The Patriots have to spend this kind of money on these guys. I'm just looking at it as they're always looking for an alternative not to spend the money. And I think Travis Hunter's the perfect guy because they can get both on the cheap, baby.
Yeah, and you're going to sell a ton of jerseys. It's a very PR-friendly move. I think everybody loves Travis Hunter. Everybody loves the idea of Travis Hunter. My only thing, and look, I think he's a terrific football player. I'm not sure he's the best corner or best wide receiver in the drafts, so that worries me a little bit if they're going to try and play him in both spots. I think he's much more valuable as a corner in the NFL, and the Patriots already have, one elite corner in Gonzalez and just paid Carlton Davis. So for me, that doesn't really seem to fit what they're doing. I guess if you're just going to go all in on Vrabel ball and load up on the defense, that's one way to go. I'm not sure that's makes me feel great as a Patriots fan. So I wonder if Will Campbell's still in play there. The Hunter thing, you saying that they're going to get a wide receiver and a corner for one price. Yeah, I think that's a realistic way to look at it, because how can you not think as a fan right now that that's the way the Patriots are thinking about it?
Mm-hmm. I know. And I'm going to credit Felger for that, because he said that a long time ago, but I didn't want to credit him for it. But now I feel like I have to. We do have Bruins coming up in 5 minutes. I see some of you guys on the phone lines. I wanted to just bring up, did you guys do the Green Teamers this week, guys? I know you get the hockey game coming, so you did do the Green Teamers. Have you noticed some of the fourth quarter productivity of Jason Tatum of late? I'm not a guy that's attacking Jason. I'm not doing that. I'm bringing to light that he has struggled in the fourth quarter. The other thing I'd like to bring to light is Porzingis is back. Did you see how many points he had in the fourth quarter yesterday or Saturday night?
Is it 14?
Yeah. My thing is, if Tatum only had 2, and by the way, there were 2 free throws that were big, they're the Celtics. They're a team.
Yeah, well, the Tatum thing, too, is, I see the comments of him butting heads about playing down the stretch, and I think look, if he wants to play down the stretch, that's great. But if he wants to play down the stretch, he can't be a minus 15 against Brooklyn and be 1 of 7 from 3. And like you said, ineffective in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum, tremendous player. The Celtics need him to be at his absolute peak if they're going to repeat this year. Something we can, get into at another date. But if he's going to be out there just to be out there because, it's the kid's Christmas present, it's their birthday, he wants to be out there. I love that about him. I think that's what makes him different than a lot of stars in that league. But, for the Celtics as a team, him being fatigued and having, turnovers and a minus 15, that ugly fourth quarter, you're not helping the team if you're doing that. He needs to rest down the stretch and make sure he's ready to go for the playoffs.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to just bring that. He missed 8 straight games. He was outstanding. He wasn't great from 3, but in the end, took care of business. He was awesome. Plus 13 in 31 minutes. Tatum was on the bench. Brown was out. Derek White was unavailable. Porzingis was the guy late. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind them leaning on the guy down the stretch. I don't know how much he plays.
Well, isn't that kind of the great thing about Porzingis, though? And Jay Stu mentioned this yesterday on the podcast, and I saw Noah kind of tweet something similar as well, where Porzingis he could be off for a month, and he comes back, and he's pretty much the same guy. A lot of these guys, they're gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They got to get ramped up, whatever. Porzingis, you can pull him off the pine, after a month, 2 months. He'll give you 14 in the fourth quarter. So can he stay healthy for the whole run? That's a different conversation, but they're going to need him this year, Joe. This can't be like last year. If Porzingis plays 7 of 19 games, they're not playing 19 games in the postseason this year. You're not walking to a title this year. You need more of Porzingis. It's going to be a longer playoff run for this year's Celtics.
Yep. They're 28-7 when he doesn't play, 21-12 when he does play. I think he's key to their playoff success. Do I think they could win without him? Yes, but I think it just makes things easier for guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I also think that Jaylen Brown recently said that this year's team is better than last year's team. I do agree, but I think you're the difference, Jaylen Brown. When you play to your potential, the Celtics are unbeatable. So whether Porzingis is there or not, when you, Jaylen Brown, play to your potential, the Celtics are unbeatable. That's why you were the MVP last year. Finally, Bruins crushed by Tampa Bay over the weekend. Another 4-goal game given up. I won't give you the numbers on that, but they have 1 win when they give up 4 goals or more. Swayman, another bad period, and he's not playing tonight. I just don't know. Do they give him the rest of the year off? Hey, just go home, buddy. We'll figure it out in the offseason. I don't know what they do about him. This guy keeps chirping me on X. Did this man not watch Travis Hunter? Did people not watch Travis Hunter play football? Literally a 5-star recruit out of high school. Tremendous football player. No, he doesn't have to pick one position. There are guys who can play both positions. Now, I don't know if he's long-term for it. To me, outstanding defensive back and outstanding wide receiver. And if he came to the Patriots, he'd be an outstanding football player. He'd be probably the best one they have. I don't know what people are doing anymore. I don't know what people are watching. I think you all just expect them to spend every dollar and find all these guys